Fiveish Fangirls, I love you, and I'm one of the Fiveish. In fact, I'm the biggest one of the Fiveish. I am the Sixth Doctor Colin Baker, and I wish you all well. Have fun.
The tangents this week continue all the way to episode number 41 of the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. Nobody lays hands on me. You don't own us. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like we do every week by going around the virtual table and see who has joined us this week.
This is Brittany in Fort Pierce.
This is Chrissy in Salt Lake City.
This is Holly from Wisconsin.
This is Mitch in Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello, everyone. We're all here. Yay!
Yay!
Kermit the Frog. Yay!
Today.
Yes.
Just ish for 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully. Hopefully we'll stay-ish. Knock on wood. I don't have any wood.
Okay.
You mean hopefully we'll stay 5.
Yeah.
Not go to ish.
Yes. Hopefully we won't be ish. I don't know. It's been a crazy week.
It has indeed.
You do not even know, and I'm not going to talk about that because it's personal.
Suffice it to say, Rachel, air quotes, wins.
Yeah.
In the realm of crazy weeks.
Yeah, and not in a good way, but yeah, that's a story for another day that I may or may not ever tell. But anyway, so
But let's have fun.
yes, let's have some fun. So back to our usual format after last week's plethora of news. So we will go back to the way we normally do things by going with news first. So first things first, a trio of trailers this week, and actually it could be 4 if you count the Fantastic Four trailer that came out today, but I haven't seen it, so I don't care.
Oh, I didn't even know it was out.
Oh, I didn't either.
Anyway, so we won't do this in the order they were released. We'll do this in the we'll get to the elephant in the room here in a second. How about that? So, like we mentioned last week, we did get our Ant-Man trailer, and it was regular size. It was not tiny. And I remember with the teaser, I was like, oh yeah, this looks, what I expect from a Marvel movie. And then they released this one, and there's a lot of good, interesting stuff. But then there's the shots where he's shrunk and he's with the ants, and it dawned on me that there's probably going to be a lot of insects in this movie, and that makes me really squeamish.
Oh no! No, Rachel.
I don't like creepy crawly things.
Okay, did you ever see Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yes.
Okay, the ant in that one is the cutest little thing ever. I know it gets killed by the scorpion. But
Ants.
That's beside the point.
Ants I can handle.
So cute.
Ants I can kind of handle. I'm more concerned about the other members of the multi-legged insect type family that may make an appearance, especially the 8-legged arachnid type.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah, ants I can handle, but when you start getting into other creepy crawlies, I may have an issue, and so it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, yeah, there may be more than just ants, possibly. When you're that small,
True.
Where there's one insect, there's bound to be others, and this, God bless him, Peter Jackson. You did wonderful things with Lord of the Rings, but I could not watch anything with Shelob or in The Hobbit with the spiders, eyes closed.
Just have Chauncey tell you when it's over.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he had to do during The Hobbit, so.
Although you might miss the whole movie.
Yeah. It's only if it's a spider.
Oh, okay.
Chauncey is now officially on spider watch duty during Ant-Man. So.
The things you do for love, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was the one of the trailers that dropped. But yay, Ant-Man, because I'm all Marvel everything at the moment. I'm getting so just super uber excited for Age of Ultron. I watched the slight tangent here. I watched the red carpet live feed last Monday that they did from the Los Angeles for Age of Ultron. And first of all, yeah, I don't know where they got these hosts from, but I really think they could find better hosts.
Well, if Marvel had to fall down in one thing, at least it's the red carpet hosts.
Yeah, I think so. If that's their weakest link, then, you know, more power to them. But watching and it's so crazy because I watched these before for the other movies, you know, if I happen to be available to watch it. So I've seen other live feeds from the red carpet, but it's so funny because the more these movies come out, the bigger the Marvel family gets, and the more people come to these things, whether they're in the movie or not. So it's like, you know, Avengers Age of Ultron is big enough as it is, because you've got the Avengers, you know, which is, you know, 5-6 bazillion people, it seems like now. Plus you got the supporting cast, because, you know, Rhodey is going to be in Ultron. He's been in the trailer, so I don't think that's a spoiler at all. So Don Cheadle was there. You've got, I mean, of course, Stan Lee was there, which he's the best interviewee ever. He walks up and he walks up and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be a really great movie despite my cameo."
Oh, Stan.
And the one lady doing the interviewing, she's like, you know, people are just, you know, I'm really excited to, you know, see you and the other cast. He's like, "Oh yeah, and I love people interviewing me." Seriously, Stanley is the best interview. Go to this people listening. This is your homework. If you haven't already, go check out the Nerdist podcast and listen to all the episodes that have Stanley in them. You will laugh till your sides ache. The man is so not humble. It is hilarious, but he could get away with it because it's Stanley. So, but anyway, but it was so fun just to, you know, see all the people. You know, you've got Robert Downey Jr. and, you know, Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans. Apparently, Chris Evans is really good tap dancer. Which he didn't want anybody to know, but who did out him on that? I don't remember who it was. It may have been Scarlett Johansson that outed him on that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the
or it may have been what's her face that plays Scarlet Witch.
YouTube page, so
Yeah. So
you can go look at
yeah.
that and find out who it was.
Yeah.
And whether we're right about it being Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. It was one of the ladies, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it was a lot of fun to watch, and then I know a lot of us watched the cast, the Avengers on Jimmy Kimmel or yeah. Again,
Family Feud thing. I was just dying.
Drunk Family Feud with the cast of the Avengers, folks. That's all you need to know to go running to YouTube. And I don't know if
the question of what would be the most embarrassing place to Hulk out.
Yeah.
I was like dying because I'm like, I know the answer, and I think
we all knew the answer.
Iron Man team. I think they finally said in the bedroom.
Yes, yeah, that was Hemsworth that I think that came up with that answer. I don't know if I should be happy or proud that, you know, my mind went into the gutter the same place that Hemsworth did, and I wasn't even drunk.
Oh my gosh. And then the little bicycle that they brought out at the end.
Yeah, the 3-person bicycle.
It's just like,
Oh my!
Yes.
So, and the clips on YouTube really do not they show a good chunk of it, but not all of it. So if you can find the entire show, which it probably is up on ABC, watch the whole thing. Because
that fan art scene was funny.
oh my, There's a reason there's a website called DeviantArt. Let's just leave it there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Emphasis on the deviant.
Yeah.
Okay, we love it for it anyway.
Yeah. So, so,
They never get that gang together to play a game of telephone.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the beginning.
I know it was telephone, but I don't want to hear about any rash that Jeremy Renner may have on his body. Anyways, moving on. Speaking of superheroes, speaking of superheroes, there was another trailer which actually came out due to another trailer coming out, but we'll get to that in a second. It has now been officially released. The first full trailer, like there was a little 15-second teaser that came out with just the suit shots of Superman and Batman's outfit, but now there's like a full teaser trailer with scenes and stuff for Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, and I watched it once and I don't care.
Yeah, pretty much, because I'm looking at what Batman looks like, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Did you just?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big old nope on that one.
Yeah.
It looks hideous.
Yeah. Like I said before we started recording. Yeah. I haven't seen any of the new Superman movies, and I don't care to. I liked, well enough Christopher Nolan's Batman's, but that's about as far as my desire goes. So, sorry.
Well, I was watching The Flash with my dad, and he was talking about how Brandon Routh made a good Superman and stuff, and why they recast him. Like, to reboot the series, they're doing like a third reboot of Spider-Man, and then but we were talking about the new the Man of Steel, and we couldn't remember the actor who played Superman.
Yeah.
It's like,
and Henry Cavill.
We know
Cable.
We know who we're talking about. We just don't know his
Yeah.
name.
It's probably not a good sign when people don't remember who the actor was.
And honestly, it's just more that
Man of Steel. So,
oh, okay. Well, I did too, but it wasn't like how I get excited for the Marvel stuff.
He still doesn't remember who the main actor
Sure was, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. This one, it just looks more like, we're here to brood and be sad and grim, dark, and we're having no one can. So dramatic.
Yeah.
It reminds me.
Emo.
It reminds me. Yeah, emo. It's like it reminds me of like my 7-year-old cousin when. Oh, what did she? I don't know. She's kind of a drama queen, and she gets all, flops all over the house, going, "I can't." It's really dramatic, emo, whatever you want to call it. And you just look at it and you're like, "Are you kidding me?" Stop it. Like, just stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
So
DC had to hurry, had to play prevent defense with this, and
yeah.
Not that exciting.
Yeah.
But
but the whole it came out preemptively, I think, when they actually, because I think it actually was supposed to debut tomorrow. It actually was supposed to come out.
It was shown at something in Brazil, I think.
Yeah, because it has subtitles. The version I saw.
Yeah. It was leaked in Portuguese.
Yeah. Which it because it was shown, there's going to be those people that are like, "Oh, I'm going to record this and put it up on the internet." But just the fact that it happened to come out hours after the internet exploded, because it happened to come out the same day that we got a new trailer for Star Wars, and everyone died.
Some of us are still dying. Thank you.
Yes.
Dying of happy feels. Happy feels.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah, people are they're running around in their yards and up and down the streets, and they're bawling tears of joy, and they're waving their lightsaber, and yeah. And a lot of that, I'm pretty sure, happened in my living room, but it wasn't by me.
There was one comment I saw. It was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the first Star Wars movie in all." What was it? What was it? What was the year? What was the number? It's the first Star Wars movie in like 30 years. I can't believe that they've never done one since then. And they're being sarcastic, discounting the prequels. But it really does, like, you look at the trailer, it feels like you're watching A New Hope, like, brand new.
Yeah.
It looks like it is honestly a continuation of the original trilogy, because, I mean, yes, there's special effects and CGI, but there are enough practical effects in it as well.
I want a BB-8!
It looks more real. BB-8!
I want one!
You look at the video. Look at the video from Celebration, and you're just like, you stole the show. The little BB-8 stole the show. And now I can imagine R2-D2 is very jealous for being
being upstaged.
Cutest little droid.
Yeah. I want one. I don't need one, but I want one. Yeah.
There was Han and Chewie at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Han Solo is like my favorite character. I've got two most favorite characters in Star Wars: Han Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And my heart.
Yeah. So, and
I told you I'm still dying.
Yeah. It's just so funny to see people's reactions. There's like, go to YouTube and go Star Wars trailer reaction, and take your pick, and people are just like, they're all excited, and then you get to that last bit, and crap, and it's just so funny.
I'm pretty sure I scared a few high school kids walking home from school that day.
So, I remember seeing it, and I texted Chauncey. I'm like, Star Wars trailer, and he was working, and he didn't get to watch it for another 30 minutes. He was like, that was the longest 30 minutes of my life.
Yeah, when you sent us all the message, you're like, Star Wars trailer. I was in the middle of work, and I was like, stop, pause, because I work from home. I can do this. Like, pause, we're going to take a break, and I'm going to watch this. And I was just like, how am I supposed to go back to work now? But I was like, it was good. I went back to work. But every now and then I'd kind of pop over and be like, can I watch that again? I was like, it's just so beautiful.
Hello, friend.
I have missed you, my friend.
Yeah.
I missed you.
And of course the ensuing memes that have,
Oh, yes.
drop. My favorite is the one I don't know if it's really a meme, because I don't know how far spread it, because I've only seen it on one Facebook page, but I was telling you guys before we started recording, but somebody taking a screenshot of when the Falcon is being chased by like a TIE fighter, and it's getting ready to fly into like part of an engine or a fuselage or something from one of the fighters or whatever that's crashed onto that desert planet, Jakku, whatever. Jakku. Yeah. But the Falcon's being chased, it's going to fly, and somebody photoshopped down on the ground the two guys combing the desert from Spaceballs. I almost wish they'd actually put that in there.
Oh, there are so many memes and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that have come out. It's just go on Facebook. You'll find at least 5 of them.
Oh yes,
Scrolling down the
among
way.
among other things. So yeah, as people
Yeah.
pick
They have
themselves
the
up off the
whole,
ground.
Like with the combing the desert, they have the big shot and you see a little thing on the ground, and then they have the bigger picture and it shows
Yeah.
the two guys
Combing the desert.
with like this huge comb.
Yeah. Which, if you haven't seen Spaceballs, go watch it.
Mm-hmm. But
You know,
we'll say this:
classic.
Spaceballs. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, Spaceballs is to Star Wars what Galaxy Quest is to Star Trek.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen either one of those, you're missing out on life. Get thee to the video
I've seen
store
Galaxy
or Amazon
Quest,
or
but
wherever.
Not Spaceballs.
Yep.
I've seen Galaxy
Okay.
Quest, but not Spaceballs.
We will
one out of two
rectify
ain't
that. We may be adding Spaceballs to our Star Wars rewatch. So be prepared.
Very well.
It may need to happen.
It's worth it. It is time well spent. You will not
yes.
regret seeing it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't regret seeing Galaxy Quest, so.
Well, you were just kind of like, okay, I'll find it.
Yep. Go see it now. No, okay. Not now. You're recording. Don't go see it now. We can't.
We're in the middle of a show.
Yeah, not right now. Not literally right
Put
now.
it on your to-do list.
Yes.
Put it on your to-do list.
To watch list. So yeah, Star Wars, kind of a little movie that's coming out later this year. Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled.
Why does it have to be in December?
Because we have to watch other stuff first.
Okay, let me rant here for 5 minutes. Just not a rant, but just a little bit.
No.
So Star Wars, it usually comes out, around May because it's a summer movie, and some of the prequel movies, they came out like May 16th because that's George Lucas's birthday. My birthday is May 17th. You know how awesome it would have been to spend my birthday weekend seeing a new Star Wars movie? Oh, we got to do it at Christmas time. Just like,
Well, not you. I'm still not getting a new episode of Doctor Who on my birthday last year.
True.
My birthday's in mid-February. Nothing comes out on my birthday. I got 50 Shades of Grey this year.
Oh, lovely.
I did get Star Trek Into Darkness a couple years ago, like right on my birthday, which was nice. It was like, oh, that's easy. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
We're going to the movies.
Well.
Yeah. Well, my birthday again is right at the beginning of May, which is the beginning of the summer movie season.
Blitz.
Yeah. You got
So
Iron Man 3 on your birthday a couple years ago.
I get quite big ones on or around my birthday, which is really nice.
Avengers!
Avengers!
Yeah.
Avengers!
My dad has promised to take me to see for my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, considering Marvel and Star Wars are both Disney-owned properties, I'm sure it was a calculated decision to put like 6 months between the movies. So. Plus, there's that little Ant-Man movie that's coming out there in the middle. So, not an afterthought. I'm sure from the powers be at Disney.
I'm sure.
It will be here before you know it.
Yes. And yet again, Disney ate DC's lunch with
Yep.
this one. Going back to referring to Superman and all that. It's
Yep.
like, everyone's like, don't care.
Yep. Those two trailers kick Superman and Batman's rear ends. So. So. Anyway.
Yeah, and speaking of reboots,
Dive!
Matthew Vaughn
Gordon's
is...
alive?
Yeah, Dive.
That one's for you, Sean.
Yep.
Gordon's alive? That
Matthew
almost sounded like my
Vaughn.
Gollum impression. Sorry, continue, Holly.
Yep, not a problem. Matthew Vaughn is tapped to direct the Flash Gordon reboot. It appears that director Matthew Vaughn, hot off the success of Kingsman's Secret Service, is directing the newest live-action adaptation of pulp 1930s sci-fi hero Flash Gordon for 20th Century Fox. Before Kingsman, Vaughn directed X-Men First Class for the studio, so it looks like they're trying to keep him in the family. The script is being written by Star Trek 3's J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. Although if Vaughn comes aboard, expect his co-writer Jane Goldman to take a crack at the script as well. Interesting.
I wonder who they get for the soundtrack, considering,
Yeah, that was kind of
Queen, as we classically know it, does not exist anymore.
No.
That's true. That'd be hard to duplicate. Like, part of me thinks, I'm like, okay, go in a totally different direction with this, because the cheesy, campy Queen version of Flash Gordon, that's been done. Let it stand on its own. Maybe try. I mean, because he did direct X-Men First Class, and I love that movie. Like that movie is amazing. And I haven't seen Kingsman, but I've heard good things about it. I kind of want to go see it. And I'm like, you know what? I think you. Just what I've heard about that movie, I'm like, I think you can do this. Just do it. Make it funny. Not. I mean, I keep coming back to Marvel. They have the serious and they have the funny, and they balance it out really well. So I think this could work. I really do. I hope it works well. And if it doesn't, we can always go back and watch Flash. Hero of the universe, savior of the universe. I don't remember how it goes. But yeah, so I saw that and I was like, I gotta put this in news at least for the Vortex boys. Because.
Yes.
So boys, if you're listening, I want to hear what you have to say about this. If you're excited or indifferent or really ticked off about it. So let us know.
Well, they'll probably have something about it on their.
Oh, they probably will. They might mention it. Yeah, it's true.
Hopefully they've seen the news. I know they're at least Glenn was a little bit BTW. Happy anniversary, Glenn and Glenn's wife. So,
Holly.
The other Holly.
Yeah.
Not
The other Holly.
Glenn's Holly, as opposed to our Holly, who is not Glenn's Holly.
Girl Holly, and we have Glenn's Holly.
Yeah. So, happy anniversary to Glenn and Holly. They were out celebrating their anniversary this weekend. So, as a side note.
And many happy returns.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yep.
Moving on.
Disney XD is to air Doctor Who starting May 9th. So, Disney XD have acquired the rights to air Doctor Who series 2 to 4 in the USA starting from next month, bringing the show and its star David Tennant to a whole new American audience. The episodes will begin with a season preview on Saturday, May 9 at 9 p.m. Eastern, when the Series 2 opener New Earth will be shown. The full season rollout will begin on Saturday, June 13th, with a special week-long programming event, Adventures in Time and Space, which will give fans 8 episodes airing daily until Saturday, June 20th. From June 14th, the episodes will also be available on demand on the Watch Disney XD app. So, yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is, and I saw this news, and I'm like, wow, that is just, I mean, it's kind of random a little bit, because it's Disney
Yes.
airing Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And at first I thought, because Disney XD has a lot of, animated shows, or, I think. I haven't watched it. I haven't, really paid attention, that much attention to it, but I'm just sort of like, I mean, my niece watches all the, Disney stuff, it's mostly Disney Junior, but it's, it's all kind of, it's in the same grouping on the DirecTV thing. And so I'm like, okay, I'm really curious about the behind the scenes logistics of this. Like, how did that come about? Like, why did Disney decide they wanted to try to get the rights to it? Why just the David Tennant stuff? I mean, David Tennant's great, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, there's, is this just a jumping on point? I don't know. I'm really intrigued by this, but I don't know all the details, and I would really like to know them just because I'm curious and nosy that way. And are they eventually going to get Matt Smith and Christopher Eccleston? I mean, probably not Peter Capaldi yet because he's still the current one, and I'm sure BBC America is going to want to hold on to those rights, but yeah, it's intriguing. It's not something I would have thought of initially, but I'm glad they're doing it, and I hope it's a success.
I mean,
I hope it brings more.
Yeah,
more
I would
people
say
to it.
anything that exposes more people to Doctor Who. But I will say that for as short-lived as it was, the K9 not K9 and Company, the other K9 TV series.
Oh,
the
one in Australia.
It was aired on Disney XD in the UK and Ireland when it was on. So it's Doctor Who entities.
So there is precedence.
There is a little bit of precedence for it. So.
Okay. Well,
But I mean,
ignore my ramblings of a few minutes ago.
But I mean, it is still kind of random too. But you know, I'm not complaining because I think Disney XD is a station you would normally get if you're like a cable or satellite. It's not a premium channel, unlike BBC America, which is a premium channel for some TV providers. So, you know, those that don't pay for BBC America, here's your opportunity to at least get some Doctor Who. So
yeah, because Disney's on the lower tier. I remember that because my parents get BBC America on theirs, but they pay for the more expensive thing because we have like NFL Sunday ticket because we gotta watch, our family's gotta watch the football. Yeah, we just do American football if we have listeners across the pond. But it's like really expensive, and that was my whole like I don't really want to get, but Disney's on the lower tier, so yeah. Anything that brings Doctor Who to more people, I am all for that.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep, and there's an article that Doctor Who Watch did of how to talk to your kids about Doctor Who that we'll post the link to that you can check out for like for Whovians with small children. Yeah. Introducing the show to them and like how to go about that kind of thing.
And where Doctor Who's now going to be on Disney XD, and that's kind of geared toward kids.
Yep.
Perfect.
Which is
what
prompted the article is that Doctor Who is geared towards like the article says 6 to 11-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they have a lot of like action-oriented shows on Disney XD. Oh, all right. And our last bit of news is convention news, and I'm kind of embarrassed because Rachel had to pull this one off and put it on the news list for me, but that's okay. Salt Lake Comic-Con has announced 2 new guests, and they're ones that I'm really excited about.
I'm excited, even though I'm not going. I'm still excited.
One of them I had to get on Facebook and go to my sister like, look at this. She was all like, I know, and we geeked out for like 5 minutes over Facebook. But Sean Astin, Samwise Gamgee, and Rudy, and a bunch of others that I can't remember. Those are 2 off the top of my head. Is coming, and the other one, and this is the one that my sister and I went nuts over, is Kristen Bauer Van Straten, it was Maleficent in Once Upon a Time this season, and they're both coming to Salt Lake Comic-Con. Sean Astin's been to Salt Lake before. They had Fantasy Con in 2013? No, 2014. No. I don't remember when. Whenever Fantasy Con was. Yeah. They're not doing it this year.
That anyway, 1 year.
They had a great big Lord of the Rings reunion pretty much, and he was there for that. And a lot of people are on the Salt Lake Comic-Con pages saying, "Oh my gosh, I missed meeting him at Fantasy Con, so now I get to meet him again." Or I get another chance to meet him, or so people are like, "It was so awesome meeting him at Fantasy Con." So Sean Astin, I'm excited about meeting him. Oh my gosh, Samwise Gamgee is. Oh.
He's supposed to be really, really nice.
I follow him on Twitter, and that's whenever I see him tweeting, that's the general.
He the last I don't know if he goes every year, but the last couple of years he has been at Walt Disney World for the Disney Marathon in January because he's a big runner. He's a big fan of running marathons. So he's usually there, and he appears at the expo. And I have friends that have met him and have had their picture taken with him. So,
and he does this thing. It's called Run Third with the running. And I'm trying to remember what his philosophy is. You run first for yourself, and second, I can't remember what the other one was. Then you run third, kind of in honor of somebody else or something else, something else that's important. And people tweet out and say, I run third for whatever it is, and it's kind of like a motivational
thing,
sort of thing. And it's really cool to see like all the things that he tweets that he retweets that people tweeted to him about that. So I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So yeah, I'm if I can swing it. Oh my gosh, this guest list is getting out of control. There's only 8 people on it as far as and some people were all like, oh my gosh, this guest list is not that great, and I'm just like, oh come on, it's only April. I mean, con's in late September. And then Kristen Bauer Van Straten. I'm just like, once upon a time guest. I'm so excited, and she's like on the header thing up here, because where they have the guests that are coming and what their characters played, because they have like Alex Kingston as River Song and everything, and they have Maleficent up there, and I'm just like, that's right. Even though she was in True Blood, I never watched True Blood, but she's in Once Upon a Time. She's Maleficent. I'm so excited. Maybe they'll get more. But no, I'm excited to meet her because I really like her too. So. There's been a lot of good things to squee about this week, I must say.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but I just love her name. It's like so fitting for someone as regal as Maleficent. Kristen Bauer Van Straten.
on her Twitter bio, because she said something about it, she's like, I took my married name Van Straten because it was the closest I would get to royalty.
Yeah. I don't blame her.
I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Because isn't it like, I don't know, German or Dutch or something? That's
usually Von is German.
German,
so,
okay.
Because my maiden name's Howell, but that's English.
Well,
my mother's
my
mother's maiden name was Hauser, but the family name back in Germany was von Hauser. So.
Ooh, well, look at you.
No. And I know that because it's my family, but my mom is one of those people that does not have a middle name. She just has a middle initial, and it's V for the von Hauser. So.
Nice. Found a way to keep it.
Yep. There you go. Genealogy with Rachel.
Go to Ancestry.com. You find out all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm not saying that just because at church my job is to help facilitate family history. Anyway.
So lots of squee-worthy stuff, which is good. So a little bit of housekeeping. Marvel with Friends. We did Captain America Winter Soldier last night, so thanks to everyone that joined in for that. We all got really quiet there towards the end. We all were like, oh! Even though we all knew what was coming, we were all just kind of, what? Too busy watching crap hit the fan at S.H.I.E.L.D.
I find in situations like that, I watch it, I know how it's going to end, but I keep hoping it won't.
Yeah.
Something different will happen.
Yeah.
It's like rereading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. You're like, Snape, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, he did it.
Yeah. So, but it I think it's probably a little more exciting just because the fact that we're getting, Age of Ultron here in less than 2 weeks, especially considering the mid-credit teaser is the twins. And like,
Yeah.
like the credits started and it got to the mid-credit teaser and like the German guy's all like blah 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 blah, and he's like the twins. It goes to the shot of Quicksilver doing his thing and the Scarlet Witch is looking all like psyched out, levitating stuff. And I just looked at Chauncey and I said, 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Well, this is the funny thing, because Captain America's Winter Soldier came out a year ago.
Yeah.
But that was the last one that we had that dealt with any Avengers characters, because then we had Guardians of the Galaxy, which is totally different, in a total different, universe, or, well, not universe, but
Planet.
part of storyline, planet,
Yeah.
part of the universe. And so, you watch Captain America and you're all like, oh yeah, that's, because that has to set up all the Avengers stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But having it all fresh in your head and knowing what is coming, like as far as movies, I'm like, ah! And then there's part of me that's like nibbling off my fingernails, like, how is this going to affect Coulson and his team on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I know, because that's getting intense too.
Oh my God.
Last week's episode, I wanted to just curl up and cry. And I didn't get to watch it until Thursday, which I was already, hyped up over Star Wars. And so that just about killed me.
Yeah.
I was like, done, dead, gone.
Yeah. But, yeah, so 2 weeks from yesterday, May 2nd, is our last Marvel with Friends tier. But we're going to go out in style. That's the best thing about it. It is going to be it's going to be karaoke Marvel with Friends is what it's going to be.
This is going to be like when we did Frozen.
I know! Well, sing along! Oh, I'm not that it's already, but I'm pretty sure the next 2 weeks I'm going to have Awesome Mix Volume 1 on steady repeat, getting ready for this movie.
Oh.
So, see, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, May 2nd. Hashtag Marvel with Friends, hashtag, I guess if you want to do Guardians of the Galaxy, if you want to use up your character count, more power to you. So,
Well, we could just do like
GOTG.
Yeah. Or as Honest Trailers calls it, Space Avengers.
Space Avengers, yeah.
It's that.
Drax on, Drax off. The Coon. So.
No, I have to laugh at that because my mom's maiden name actually is Coon.
Oh.
She got teased mercilessly when they read Where the Red Fern Grows when
Yeah.
she was a kid. But now she laughs about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is your last call for Marvel with Friends. If you don't join in now, you're gonna have to wait.
Meet now, forever hold your peace.
Yes.
Or until we do another Flicks with Friends series.
Yep.
Which summertime, probably sometime.
Yes. We'll do one-offs, but we probably won't do another big series until we do Star Wars.
Yeah.
/ Spaceballs. So.
Star Wars with special guest Mel Brooks.
Yes. So, and speaking of which, the polls are still up for you to, or surveys for you to answer and let us know what copies of Star Wars you have. Chrissy recently changed hers.
Hey, I saw the trailer on Thursday, and then I saw that the digital bundle was only $90, and I was like, hey, I can swing that. So I did.
Yep.
I swung it. And I have all 6 of them now. But now I gotta get Spaceballs.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, Spaceballs is only one edition.
Yes.
we know which one we're going for with that.
Yeah. At least until we get the sequel, Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. So.
Which I thought he would have done that by now with the prequels. That'd have been perfect.
Mel Brooks, we're waiting.
Mel, you missed the trick.
Yeah. That train is pulling out of the station, but it's not too late for you to jump on. I will watch it. So. Alrighty then. So. Can't talk. With that out of the way, with that done, checked off, voila, finite, we can move on to this week's topic, which, once again, let's play everybody's favorite game, something Rachel doesn't watch and knows nothing about.
With special guest Chrissy, because I don't watch this one either.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
3 out of 5, I guess. Or 3 or 2.5-ish, depending on how far Holly got on her rewatch, I guess.
I made it.
Okay, so we got 3 out of 5. So I know enough based on what I see posted on social media, and that's about it. So keeping.
So please enlighten us.
Yeah.
I followed like a million more Orphan Black blogs on Saturday because of the premiere. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Clone Apocalypse.
Nope.
Well, Clone Apocalypse is basically on the day of the premiere, everyone who's in the fandom changes their icon to a picture of one of the clones, and then their URL to something like that, something to do with that clone. So, like, for me, I changed my icon to Kasima, and my URL was GeekMonkey324B21. Hello?
Hello. Yeah. Well, I'm nodding. I'm nodding just because I don't.
Well, I can't
Help us
see
out
that.
here and go to the beginning and explain what the heck Orphan Black is for us noobs who know nothing.
Pretend we just landed here from Mars.
Yeah.
So basically, Orphan Black is this like sci-fi thriller show about a woman who discovers that she's a clone, and there's like a whole bunch of like other clones that like they all look just like her, but they all have like different personalities, different upbringing, and like different looks. Like they all have the same face and stuff, but they all
Their hair looks different.
their hair, their clothes, stuff like that. How they behave is all different. So, and it begins with the main, our main point of view character, which is Sarah Manning. She's the main clone, seeing one of the other clones, Beth Childs, kill herself by stepping in front of a train. And then she steals Beth's purse and assumes her identity, and that's how she finds all the other clones. Like, that's basically her gateway into this mad world of clones and corporations and military stuff and religious nuts.
It sounds nuts.
Yeah.
So,
Like the premise is interesting. That you would you discover that you were like a clone of a science experiment kind of a thing. Is that basically what it is, right? Kind of.
yeah, in the first episode, she meets, she sees Beth kill herself, and then at the end of the episode, she meets Tatiana Maslany from Germany, who gets shot in the head. Like, right in, like, in the like, she and Sarah are in Beth's car, and Katya gets shot, like, right in the head through the glass. Like, Sarah's in the driver's seat, Katya's in the back, and it's like, and that's, like, the cliffhanger is Katya getting shot, and then, in episode 2 is when she starts finding out more about this, and at the end of episode 2, she meets 2 more clones. She meets Allison part of the way through episode 2, and then at the end she meets Cosima. And then they introduce Helena, who's trying to kill all the clones because she's been raised to believe that like she's the original and all the other ones are poor copies and abominations and need to be put down. And
So that's freaky. You actually have someone with your face trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of these other people that have your face.
yep.
Okay.
So are like the people responsible for the cloning, I mean, were they hoping that they would just never run into each other? Or
I'm
like
not sure because there's like this whole thing about like the clones. They don't want the clones to like be self-aware. I think because in season 3 there was this one thing where a bunch of clones in Europe became self-aware. I think, and they were all killed off. And then,
So they wanted them to be like robots?
no, like not self-aware, not that they wanted them to be robots, but self-aware in the fact that they don't want the clones to know that they're clones.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay.
yeah. But it just seems like there's so many of them, they were bound to like run into one another at some point, especially if it sounds like they all live in the same area.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because I have watched like the first maybe 5 episodes and I just didn't go any further. But like I saw the episode where because like Allison lives in the suburbs somewhere, and Sarah stumbles on her, and I'm just kind of like, okay, so if you didn't want people to know about it, why? Like, how did they? I guess my question is like, how did they decide where all these clones are gonna live? Like, where are they gonna? Did they like, grow them and then they got adopted or something? Like, how did they?
They talked about in vitro fertilization, so they were implanted in women who went to get in vitro. Rather than using the people's DNA, they implanted these clones into them. So.
Okay. And did these women know that's what was happening, or was it just like, I want a baby?
No,
I don't care.
The implication is no. They just went for in vitro and then without their knowledge were implanted with these clones instead of their own genetic material.
Okay.
It's like the moral implications of this are just like
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. It's like I'm trying to figure out like what is the motivation for doing something like this? Just to say, hey, we cloned a human, but we didn't want anybody to know about it.
Yeah. It's like usually I can accept a lot of things when it comes to like science fiction, but this is. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around, but I mean, it's only on its like 3rd or 4th season, so.
Season 3.
Season 3, so.
Like, I mean, I could see where they would be like, okay, we know this is sort of a morally gray area, with clones' rights and stuff like that. And it's kind of funny that we're talking about this now, where last week, Traveling the Vortex had Immortal Beloved, which that one had a lot of clones in that story, and they're very the clones all know what they're doing, but they were being used for a totally different purpose.
Well, we're not entirely sure what the purpose of the experiment is.
So I haven't gotten that far yet. Then
you haven't got that far yet. Okay.
They must be playing a really long game then with the story for the show then. So interesting.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. I've never watched it, but like I said, I knew the basic premise that there was this woman and she was one of many clones, and I knew the clones had their own personality and all that. It's quite interesting I may have to watch it just to see, how exactly they pull this off. Because, you've got one woman playing all of the roles, and how that works as far as like the cinematography and how she's able to pull that off. Because I remember like when the show, like it first started.
How they do it is fantastic. Like
Yeah.
they have a double that she plays off when she's more than one clone in a scene. So she'll play it from one angle as one clone against her double, and then play it from the other clone. And they've gotten actually quite good at it because they've had like up to 4 clones in a scene.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Does she have like 4 doubles? I guess they do enough.
Yeah.
I think so, but like she's got the one main double, which is Catherine something, and then probably other ones for when she's doing like 4 clone scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be really difficult, like when you're playing one and then you have to, have so much emotion.
They had like Interspace did this behind the scenes, and where they were talking about the 4 clone scene at the beginning of episode 1 of season 3, and they say it was shot over 3 days and took about 22 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And that's just for one scene of television. That just blows my mind.
Yeah. I just remember, like last year or the year before that, or whatever year it was like the Emmys or the Golden Globes or something, and Tatiana got nominated, and people were like, "Who the heck is this woman in this show that she got nominated for?" And I haven't watched it, so I don't know how. But it sounds like she must be a really good actress to be able to pull this off, because that just...
Oh, she is good. And sometimes in the show, clones impersonate other clones.
Yeah.
For various reasons.
Oh, wow.
And so what she does for those is, like, she gets into character as the clone she's supposed to be. So, like, say it's Sarah as Allison. So she gets into character as Allison. As Sarah. And then she puts on how Sarah would play Allison.
So not only does she have to play Sarah and Allison and Cosima and all these others, she also has to play Sarah as Allison or Allison as Sarah, or there's just so many different layers to it.
And in the
kind of, it is.
In the premiere, there was this one scene that was Sarah as Rachel, again playing opposite Allison as Sarah.
Yeah.
My head is starting to hurt.
Yeah. So my next.
Yeah.
I believe you. So here's my next question for all 3 of you who have watched it. What made you want to watch it, and what made you keep watching it? Because I started watching it, and like by the 5th episode, I was not hooked by it. And I see like everybody goes nuts for it, and they love it, and I'm glad they do. But I'm just curious, like, what am I missing? And so I want to hear what your experiences are with it.
Oh, I kind of was like you, and I was kind of hit and miss for the tail end of season 1. Kind of got back in season 2, then kind of faded out, and then when the DVDs came out, season 3 was kind of like, okay, I'm going to give this another try, and then it just clicked. I just kind of had to get over a couple little minor things, and then boom. I mean, just the acting and the storytelling, and trying to figure out, okay, there's this mystery still going on, and is it gonna how soon is the payoff going to happen? Or are we going to get some answers, but then get more questions, kind of like the X-Files? So
you're saying is be more patient.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So it sounds like you probably need to give it at least
for
a
me,
season.
I
Mm-hmm.
was interested in. I think I watched the premiere, but I kept forgetting that it was on. So I kept I would watch for a bit, and then I would fall off, and then I caught up on it in time for season 2, and then I kind of fell off again because I have all this other stuff that I want to watch and do.
Yeah.
And then I got caught up again for season 3, and hopefully this time I'll stay on it. I got it in my calendar this year.
That helps. What about you, Brittany? Like, what was the big draw to keep you coming to it?
I actually was wanting to start it when it first came on, because I remember it first came on the same night that season 7 part B of Doctor Who was on, and I was going to watch it, but then I went to the store and totally forgot about it. And then I had to move and didn't have cable for a long time, so I just got on the show, start watching it, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And
okay. So you're real newbie to this.
Mm-hmm. And I think the best for me is I mainlined the both series seasons, so I didn't have to wait. And I think what really got me into it was I always thought clones were interesting, and I'm sorry I can't talk today, but I think I like the whole unique. It's not like clones are exactly the same like what you expect from other sci-fis, and they're unique and they have their own personality, and you care for each of them, and
it's sort of an exploration of nature versus nurture.
yes,
Because
yes.
they're clones, they're genetically identical, which means they technically all have the same nature, but it's their environment, how that affected them. And they're called monitors. There's people close to the clones that keep an eye on them and report on behavior, health, all that sort of stuff. And
so it's kind of So it's like when you say, "Oh my gosh, I need a clone of myself so I can be in multiple places at once." Yeah, this sort of debunks that idea. It's you have a clone of yourself, but there's no guarantee your clone's gonna want to go there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I wonder if that's how they came up with the idea for this. Is when someone said, "I need a clone of myself."
The scene that they came up with was Sarah seeing Beth kill herself, and where one of them, the creators, came up with this scene of a woman sees another woman who looks exactly like her kill herself, and then the other creator helped them decide where to go from. They worked together to decide where to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
What the concept was going to be, kind of. And the clone idea is actually the one that with the longest, the most material that they could get out of it. It could be long lost twin or.
But with the long lost twin, it'd be
And those would have a very limited sort of shelf life, but the clone idea has now at least 3 seasons in it.
Yeah.
And probably more.
And what is actually funny, there is a long lost twin story in this.
Yeah.
Wow. So I guess when you're messing around with clones and
the thing is, Helena and Sarah are twins. They were
And you would never imagine it.
With the embryo, it split into twins in her womb, and that's Sarah and Helena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Helena
Hey, you know
was
what?
kind of described as an off-the-wall, crazier Parker.
Aha! I got it.
Can't you know?
Kind of like, hey, we're doing clones. Let's throw in twins while we're at it too. Why the heck not? You know, the way you described how they came up with it kind of reminds me of the way Diana Gabaldon came up with Outlander. It's like, okay, I have this one piece. Now what do I do? You know, how do I get to the next piece? And then it just kind of builds from there and there. So, you know, it's probably shouldn't be a shocker that there are so many seasons of Orphan Black. So, because Outlander's got like 9 books, and they're using kind of a similar writing world building technique with it. I don't know. It just made me think of that.
Yeah. Well, and they've expanded upon it now because now there's boy clones.
Yeah, there's Project Castor, which is a series of military, like most of them seem to be military, but there's one that was with the Proletheans, which is like this extremist religious organization that is.
And all of them are kind of on the cuckoo side.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's Felix.
Felix is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I love Felix.
He's kind of
he's
the
like
voice of reason, but nobody really listens to him.
Yeah, but he's like the one.
I just have a face that no one listens to.
Apparently. Wow. Interesting.
Well, we should also bring up too that out of all of them, most of those clones cannot have kids, but Sarah was kind of the exception to the rule, and she had Kira.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did Allison not have children, or did she adopt?
She adopted.
She adopted.
Okay, because I was like, I swear she went to like her kid's soccer game or something.
Gemma, her 2 kids, Gemma and Oscar, are adopted.
Okay.
Because when Sarah says about having Kira, she's like, so is she yours or is she adopted like my 2 were?
Mm. Were they genetically modified so they could not have kids, or was that just a side effect of the cloning process?
Yeah, they were genetically modified. They introduced an autoimmune disorder, I think, which is another major plot point in that this autoimmune disorder had some pretty bad consequences in that some of the clones have developed a respiratory illness.
Mm.
And at least one has died of it. We find out in season 2, there's the clone that she kept video diaries throughout her illness, and her name is Jennifer Fitzsimmons. So.
Okay. Yeah, because there's so many. There's
Katia Obinger had it, but she was shot before it got really bad.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
there's so many different.
Right now, Cosima is dealing with the respiratory illness, and they're talking about using Kira's stem cells to try and cure it, or try and like, reboot Cosima's immune system so they have time to find a cure.
Yeah, there's so many different, like just biology things you can explore with this, because we know, scientifically that there's so little research done on clones, just because, then you have the moral implications of that kind of thing. So it's like they have such a big playground to just kind of mess around in with this story. So it's like, it's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's apparently a law recently passed that allows people to patent synthesize DNA. So, and the Dyad Institute, which is behind the Lita clones, the Sarah and Tazima and everyone, they're part of project. It's called Project Lita, which is part of mythology, which they explain in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so
is that the one?
The Lita,
I remember what it is.
The Lita clones have a synthetic sequence in their DNA that is a patent on their genetic sequence. So they're so Dyad patented the clone, and that's revealed at the end of season 1. So
Okay then. Go BBC.
Well, this one's a BBC America original, isn't it?
That's what it says.
Yeah. And I just thought, I mean, because there were a couple of them that were being made that were just sort of, playing off the whole, Doctor Who is sci-fi, so thus we must make other sci-fi shows for BBC America. So there were some others that kind of didn't work out. So when I did see Orphan Black being advertised when it first came out, I was like, oh, it's another one of these. And then I didn't pay much attention to it. And then it, just exploded, and it was like, oh my gosh, everyone loves this, and it's amazing. So I was like, wow, one of those actually worked. Interesting. Probably, I guess I will try to at least watch the full first season and see if I can get myself to like it even more. But it probably won't be till this summer because so much going on.
And the seasons aren't that long though. The 10 episodes
per season,
which is shorter than an American season. So
that is
shorter
true.
than a Doctor Who season.
That's true.
I did mainline Warehouse 13 back in February and March, so maybe that's an option. I did it while I was working, because some days I just was like, okay, I gotta have something else going on that isn't the news while I'm working. So I should look into doing that.
21 episodes out right now. Probably do it in a weekend.
Okay. So how many seasons are there total? Or they're in the middle of...
They just started
our third season.
So third season. Okay. Some reason I was thinking fourth. Then you said 21. I'm like, wait a minute. Math is not...
Season 3.
Third season. Gotcha.
10, 10, and 1 is where we're at right now, apparently.
Right now.
Well, because all the stuff you were all the stuff you were describing, I'm like, man, there's a lot of story. They probably have a bunch of seasons out. Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
They pack a lot into it.
Yeah, and just you'll be happy for the break and then not having to wait for commercial. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on to the next one.
And even just the commercials, the actions of Fangirls are like. So it's like
at the end of the episode, you're like, get past the credits, come on.
Yeah.
Well, and even in the episode, it's like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
It's just,
they have the
you'll be glad not to wait for commercials.
That's why I was glad with when I was mainlining it on demand. Each commercial break only had one commercial, so I was like, yes. And then when I watched last night, I'm like, oh.
I have the first 2 seasons on DVD.
Ah, nice. No commercials.
No commercials.
Even better.
straight through.
So is it on like Netflix or Hulu or anything like that, or is it just go
It's
find
not
the
on
DVDs?
Netflix. I don't know about Hulu.
Check here just a second.
I guess I could look it up because I have Hulu.
Yeah, I've tried to find Orphan Black on Netflix, but unless it's on American Netflix, which I haven't checked that. But I don't think it
Not
is.
on Hulu. Oh well, I can get it from the library. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
Wait, so choose.
I thought it was on Netflix.
Maybe it was, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
'Cause they like to
maybe.
do that.
Possibly.
My Netflix has the little spinny thing going
Yeah.
around and around and around and around.
Don't
It's
do
like,
the
think
spinny
faster.
thingy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't you understand what the schedule here? Places to go, things to
No.
watch. No.
No Orphan Black on Netflix.
You must have taken it down
It
there.
was, yeah, it was probably there, then it went away. And it's like, why would you do such a thing? Oh, well.
Especially Netflix. That's all I'm gonna say right
Yeah, you can't.
now.
Netflix is not very reliable. Can I just say that? Heroes is on there though.
Hey.
Yeah, it's on my list of things I need to watch. Rewatch. Rewatch and
Although,
finish
I
watching.
had to
'cause
go
I-
to American Netflix for Star Trek. Because I think Canadian has like Next Gen, and that's basically it. They don't have any of the other spin-offs.
Yeah.
So when I got to DS9, I was like, I think it's on, like, I was worried about having to find it, and then I saw someone post about Star Trek being on Netflix. I'm like, must be on an American Netflix. And it was, and so I've been watching Deep Space Nine on American Netflix, which is lovely. Anyway, we were talking about Orphan Black.
Yeah.
Orphan Black. Sorry, got sidetracked. I was like trying to locate how to watch Orphan Black.
Yeah.
Anyway, so anything else you ladies want to tell us about why we should watch Orphan Black, or why any of our listeners should watch it? I just want to do a general squee. It's awesome and call it good.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. There's a lot of twists. There's a lot of turns. They think you've got stuff figured out, and they'll throw you a curveball. And I mean, there's some adventurous moments. There's some kind of peek behind an eye moments, and then there's some others where it's just like you're laughing out loud over the antics of some characters. I'm thinking Felix and Donnie.
Well, there's one scene in the season 2 where Allison's in rehab, and it's family day, and only there's some trouble with Vic, who's an ex-boyfriend of Sarah, and he's gonna rat Allison out to this cop because she apparently, because at the end of season 1, she allowed her neighbor to die. It was like kind of an accidental murder kind of thing. So Vic's gonna rat her out. So they're trying to avoid that happening. But meanwhile, family day is going on, so they call in Sarah to pretend to be Allison.
Let's just say that doesn't go over too well.
No, but the one I really want to talk about is where she's going off on Donnie, who's Allison's husband, and Donnie's like, how is she being? And I'm like, when I saw that, I was like he was like, how who's she being? I said, Sarah? I think she's being Sarah.
So Donnie, he's Allison's husband. He knows about.
Donnie finds out about the clones in that episode.
Yeah,
they're and Allison and Felix are in Allison's room in the rehab center, and then Tanya comes in and sees Sarah and Allison alone. And then they explain the whole clone thing
okay.
to her.
I guess it would be helpful to have some outsiders to know what their secret is, especially if you can trust them, like her husband or Felix, where he's Sarah's really good friend and all that stuff.
Well, they're foster siblings.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember what their connection was. I knew they had, and it wasn't romantic, but
you know Mrs. S.
Nope, I don't remember.
The woman who's taking care of Kira in season 1.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Now I
Mrs.
remember.
S is their foster mother.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
But they haven't yet explained why Sarah could have Kira. Right?
well, I think it has something to do with the fact that, well, Sarah and Helena's birth mother was supposed to be a surrogate for like this rich scientist couple, but she found out, she overheard something about the experiment and ran away, taking Sarah and taking her babies with her, and gave one to the church and one to the state. So Helena went to the church and was raised by them, and then Sarah went into the foster system, and there's this whole thing about it's really hard to explain.
Okay, so you're saying just go watch it?
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will take that as an answer then.
And I think because the woman who carried them ran away early in her pregnancy, that they weren't able to put in the what made the other clones infertile, which is why Sarah and Helena are able to have children when none of the other clones are.
Okay. Makes sense. So, final verdict. Watch Orphan Black.
Yes.
And it's on BBC America on Saturday nights?
Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Cool.
For those
so it's
folks
filling
out there.
that Doctor Who void that we're all still feeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
This just in, Doctor Who's still not on.
Yep. I saw a meme earlier today. It was of a skeleton sitting on a couch with a caption that says, "How I feel waiting for Doctor Who to return."
Yeah.
And I was like, that is true of a lot of things when they're not on.
Yeah.
But
It
was a
speaks
Doctor Who
the
thing, so I
truth.
had- Though they are filming it, so
They
at
are.
least it's being made.
They are.
All right.
Cool. Yeah. Now that my head is thoroughly just... I'm sure it makes way more sense if I actually see it and see the context. But right now, out of context without the visuals, I'm all like, okay.
That's why we do these kinds of episodes, so you can get a taste of it and then decide if it's something you want to try, and then you go see it and you're like, oh, now I understand what Mitch was talking about.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So that's it gets you interested and
Yeah.
intrigued.
It's your
And
your
same with the
sampler.
listeners. Yes, it's a sampler plate. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I don't have time to go through 2 seasons of all this stuff, but she's given us the highlights. They say now go see how it all fits together and go on this marvelous ride with the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Tatiana voices the Scorpion in season 3.
Really?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
As if she didn't have enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
Man, she's like practically running that whole show.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they're paying her generously.
And they bumped her up to producer this year, too.
Oh, okay, she is doing everything then.
She is doing everything.
You go, girl.
Yeah. Rock on, Tatiana.
It's kind of funny. There's a podcast that I'm slowly listening to that's called Tatiana is Everybody, which is very
Tatiana is everyone. I've been listening to that too. I've gotten through like 30-something episodes since I discovered it.
About much as I've gone too.
So I'm on episode 39, and there's as we record 62 episodes. Oh,
I'm on. Give me a second.
3 premiere episode earlier today.
Ah.
So
The title of their show is not tongue in cheek. She really is everyone.
she really
Mhm.
is everyone. Although they've been saying at the end of episodes like this item and this item were played by Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like she was this clone and this clone, and she was also a random person on the street and the garbage collector,
So
and
like inanimate objects, like
she was the stray dog in that one scene.
I also think earmuffs were played by Tatiana or the safety deposit box.
It's funny because it's true.
Mhm.
Oh my. Okay then. Well,
So-
anyone have anything else to add?
Well, the titles of the episodes are usually from a specific thing. Like for season 1, it was from Darwin's Origins of the Species. Season 2 was all Francis Bacon quotes, and season 3, from what I can tell, is from Eisenhower's final address. Like as president.
Yes.
So it like.
I forget you're you're Canadian. Yes, President Eisenhower.
Yes, because I figured that they would be doing that, so I put the title. I googled the title of episode 1 and scrolled past all the Orphan Black stuff until I found where the quote originally came from. So
Interesting. Very interesting. Alrighty then. That's on my list of stuff to try at least.
Yeah. The list grows ever longer. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So we keep doing these types of episodes, which is great. But then I'm like, oh man, I gotta add something else.
Rachel, we gotta pick something that you know about, so we don't have another talk about something Rachel knows nothing about.
Yeah.
So let some of us take that seat for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need you to sit here and gush about something.
Okay then, I will think of something for the
Okay.
future.
No matter how obscure it is, you think of something.
Okay, I will do that. I'll get back to you on that.
All right. In the meantime, while we wait for Rachel to compile her list of things that she can talk about that none of us can, you can find all of our episodes and contact information at the Fiveish Fangirls Podcast.blogspot.com. There you will find links to Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram. I almost said Pinterest, but I don't think we're on Pinterest.
No, not yet, at
And-
least.
No.
not yet.
One of us
Yeah,
is old enough.
I do Pinterest the same way I do Tumblr, and like I see something I like, it's going in the thing. Do I ever do anything with it? Oh heck no.
No.
Um,
It's pretty to look at, though.
Yeah, it's
Well,
pretty to look at.
At some
And
point,
let's see
one
what
of
else.
us is probably going to get bored and make a Pinterest for the podcast.
Probably. And we're also on YouTube, so that's where you find a lot of our, well, all of our audio for all of our podcasts, and also any extra things that we come up with, which does happen from time to time.
Yeah.
And then our Patreon page, please support us on Patreon. Thank you to all who are supporting us. We really appreciate it. It helps us, have entertaining little evenings like this, and help us keep our sanity, and hopefully entertains you as well. So, and then you can our email contact is all there. So send us in feedback, about this or anything else we've talked about, or if you just want to say, hey, love you, or hey, you're doing kind of dumb things, do better, or whatever you want to say to us. Please be kind, because we do this for fun, and we are rank amateurs at this, but we have a good time doing it. So we hope you have a good time listening to us, and find us on iTunes and leave us a review if you feel so inclined. Is that all of our plugging?
I think so. At least for now. Next week is the end of the month. So
we mentioned we didn't mention that Tatiana's everyone. You should at least have watched the first season before you start, because they are not spoiler free. So
Nor should they be. If they're an Orphan Black podcast, they should be free to talk about
whatever.
Orphan Black out the wazoo.
Yeah.
So,
you would hope.
but like at the beginning, when they started, it was just when they started recording, they just had season 1 to work with. So you can watch season 1 and then start at the beginning of their podcast, and you only have to start. And then once they get into season 2, they review each episode as it comes out. So
Just like Traveling the Vortex does when Doctor Who comes back on.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It is a familiar formula.
Yes.
yeah, if you want to start listening to them, at least have watched season 1 so you don't get spoiled.
Yep. Good idea.
And then make sure you
Keep up with it.
Season 2's out, you'll have, and then once you get to the episode where they talk about season 2 episodes, you need to have watched those as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hooray!
Yay. Okay then. Well, I think we covered everything. Oh, and don't forget, we'll put a link to the Star Wars surveys. So we'll give you a couple more weeks to respond to those. So we've gotten a good half dozen, I think, responses, but I know at least a couple of those are mine. So
One of them's mine.
yeah. Most of them have been us. So, but if you even remotely think you may want to join in, and even if you don't own anything, maybe you're thinking of buying copies, go ahead and answer. So I think we all have a good idea of which versions we're going to watch, but we still would like to, know. So,
Yeah.
there's that.
And even if you're not sure if you're going to join in, just vote anyway, and then you can pop in and out.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen I didn't get to all of the Marvel with Friends.
Me neither. I will be there for the grand finale, though.
Yeah. That's why we do it this way, so we can all, come in and out as we can.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, never feel compelled to join in every single time. So it's purely for fun. Really, it just gives me something to do with my hands while I'm watching the movie, so I don't fall asleep.
Yeah. Although I've got to tell you this, I've gotten to the point where even when I'm just watching something just for fun, I think, okay, I got to say something about this. So like this past week when I was watching The Flash, I had a thought, and I went to Tumblr, and I put it on there just because that's what was there. And my comment, it was just like an offhand thing about Iris, and my comment got like all these replies and responses, and it was all like, oh my gosh, some people just don't understand the character, and blah blah blah, like really berating me for this one goofy little jokey comment I made, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I stepped into the hornet's nest and I didn't mean to. So I'm like, I'm never tagging those again. I'm like, because people get really pissed off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry I ruined your day. Why did you have to, like, you have to come in here and... Anyway, that's for another day.
I've given up on Tumblr just for that reason. It seems to be a landmine. You just don't know. Other than just retweeting, other than just retumbling like images of Benedict Cumberbatch. There's not really any reason for me to be on there. So
that's what I like to do. Is I like to find all my favorite Captain Swan gift sets.
Yeah,
and be like, oh. So I'm like, I'm not commenting on any of this anymore. I don't want to. Geez, some people check their sense of humor at the door when they log into that thing. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough for me.
Yeah, that's a
just can't
thing.
quit you, Tumblr.
Yeah. Oh my.
Anyway.
Alrighty, so.
We can call it, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that, we will sign off for this week.
This is Christine Popkill saying goodnight.
This is Chrissy saying goodnight from Salt Lake City.
This is Hannah from Wisconsin saying good evening.
This is Mitch saying goodnight from Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Chewy, we're home.
Been listening to the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. Any and all movies, books, games, and other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by their respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied.